You ever check out your home's Zillow estimate, also known as Zestimate, and thought, is that really what it's actually worth? Well, online estimates are fast and they're free, but in Middle Georgia, they often miss the mark. Hey, my name's Luke. I run the Living in Middle Georgia real estate team, and we have this YouTube channel called Living in Middle Georgia that you're watching right now. And I wanted to make a fun video for you guys today because I'm always hearing Zestimate this, Zestimate that, what is my house worth? And I love the Zestimate, don't get me wrong, but the thing is, it can be really far off. So today I want to actually show you how that online estimate works and what they miss in the process. So to start things off, what actually is it? Well, a Zestimate or similar tools that you're going to see online are public records. They sometimes pull MLS data and use user submitted details, kind of like Wikipedia, to be able to guess a home's value, and they're not appraisals or comparable market analysis. So you want to actually think of them as a starting point, not the final word. And this is actually from Zillow's website. Zillow reports a median error of 2% for on-market homes and about 7% for off-market properties. We have to understand this. An off-market house valued at $1 million could be off by 70 grand. And unique or rural homes can miss the mark by even 6 figures. So would you base your biggest asset on a number that might be off by tens of thousands of dollars? Me personally, I would say no. And the only way that Zillow can actually report a median error of 2% for on-market properties is because they're stealing information from real estate agents and they're just going based off of that. So then you can even see that the average agent is off by up to 2% because they didn't run a proper comparable market analysis and did the numbers. If a real estate agent ever meets with you in person and they just give you a number, it's a huge red flag. The reason is the average appraiser is going to come over to the property, spend anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours, and take 3 to 5 business days to be able to come back with a report. And you're telling me a non-trained, non-appraisal license holding real estate agent is going to just be able to bring you a number without ever getting eyes on the property?
It looks questionable to me.
You got to really be careful about these property valuations because the largest asset that you most likely own is your house. You want to make sure that you're getting it priced properly. And you know, at the end of the day, you can't really blame them because algorithms cannot see your new roof or maybe even that new custom kitchen that you put in or the extra acreage that when you closed on your house, you didn't even know was there. So it's not on public records and they lack the actual context because there could be things like I was just saying, maybe you got a little bit of farmland. Maybe you have a basement that's not actually recorded. I see this happening all the time in Forsyth, for example, or maybe just the appeal of local school zones. I literally just helped a client move from Ohio in the #1 hottest school zone, and they got $45,000 over asking price. And that came out of the checking account of the buyer because they listed their house above appraisal. So not only did they pay the difference for appraisal, they also paid that additional $45,000 because that school zone was that hot. Now, am I saying that that happens down here in Middle Georgia? Not as often, but we want to make sure that we take into consideration all of the unique things that make your house special. Because Middle Georgia's smaller markets, they do have fewer sales comps, okay? So the margin of error climbs dramatically. What do I mean by sales comps? Comparable houses that are within the same bedrooms, bathrooms, acreage, time built, appeal, value. And now all of a sudden, those little agent tools that I personally have, when I draw a little circle of a half mile around your house, it pops up nothing. Some rural areas, let's say we're out in Byron, Fort Valley, maybe even some areas of Perry, Elko, Hawkinsville, whatever it may be, and I get a 0, I have to then go out a mile and then 2 miles and then 5 miles. And sometimes I only have 2 or 3 comparables and I don't actually have eyes on that other property. So how am I actually supposed to know if that house is what it says that it is? Am I just basing it based off the photos of what it looked like 6 years ago? Were there updates? This is the type of thing that ends up happening. You got to be so careful when it comes down to pricing your house. And that's me doing that. All that experience and all of those tools that I have. So at the end of the day, a computer, it cannot for any reason appreciate your home's upgrades. So don't let it undervalue them. Your home, if you're going to sell, you want to be able to squeeze every single dollar out that you possibly can.
If I were to give you some money out of my wallet, would that ease the pain?
Now, I know I live in Middle Georgia, but I want to just expand this a little bit because not everybody that's watching this video might be here. But I have a lot of data for Atlanta. I mean, literally more than half of the state's population lives in Atlanta. So Zillow median error for an active listing in Atlanta is about 1.48% the last time I checked the data. And when data is scarce, as it is in many Middle Georgia towns around here, estimates can swing even wider. So if an algorithm struggles in a big city, imagine what it happens in a small town. So let me give you a little insider's information, okay? A local realtor can run what's called a comparable market analysis. If you ever see the acronym CMA, that can factor in renovations, lot size, and recent neighborhood sales. So for maximum precision, you have to hire a licensed appraiser, okay? I'm just gonna throw this out there. Hopefully nobody gets mad at me. It's my YouTube channel. I can say whatever I want, do whatever I want. 74% of real estate agents did not sell a single house last year. If you go down to Housing Wire, the median agent sells 2 houses per year. If you just hire a licensed real estate agent and expect that they know everything about everything, that's not the truth. If you want maximum precision, I would highly recommend hiring a licensed appraiser, especially if you have an expensive house. Maybe you're in a rural area, maybe you got a little bit of land. That's absolutely the number one thing that you want to do. Appraisals can cost up to $1,000, sometimes a little bit more, but at the end of the day, if you could be off by 2% and you got a $500,000 house, that's 10 grand. Literally, you could have spent $1,000, $1,500 and you could have put way more money in your pocket. So please spend 30 minutes with a local expert and you could uncover thousands of dollars in hidden equity inside of your house that you didn't even know about. So at the end of the day, if you are curious about what your Middle Georgia home really is worth, make sure you drop a comment below or just reach out to me for free, 478-888-7808. I will personally give you a home evaluation. I'll stop by. I'll take a couple of pictures. I'll work on it for 2 to 3 days. No algorithm, just real market insights for all of those that watch my YouTube channels over here in living in Middle Georgia. Love you guys. I'll see you guys on the next video.